Thank you, Coach. Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming tenants in 71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Check, 93's the mic, 93's the mic. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some.
They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend, show that he's right.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Throwing on 2nd down. Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Meanwhile here, a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. 2nd down now. So back at the midfield stripe now, they'll come up 2nd and long.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. This is caught by Robinson. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Under 10. Under 10.
First carry in the league here for David Montgomery, the man out of Iowa State. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Trubisky. He's got Burton here. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. First down, a run with Cohen. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now it's Trubisky. And Miller will pull this one in. He's got it for the Bears touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. To throw is Rodgers. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the 1st down as well. Rodgers now on 1st down. And Graham's got it. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about this.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Leonard Floyd. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They start on the ground with Pumphrey. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Cohen. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards in a Chicago 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Zadarius Smith. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throwing here, Trubisky. That's Cordero Patterson hauling it in. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They run. This is Cohen. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Bears, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
2nd and 7 at the 11-yard line.
Check. 180. I hope you brought your left because I'm about to take you to school.
On 2nd and 7. Trubisky. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Lock in.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, this, of course, the 100th season of NFL football, and 17 matchups with historical significance have been picked throughout the season. And this is the first of them, Bears and Packers, the NFL's oldest rivalry dating way back to 1921, with the Packers having the all-time edge 96, 94, and 6 ties. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He goes full extension, and he's got it. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Now Jones. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers lets this one rip toward Graham. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. He's got his man, Valdes-Scantling, and all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 33 yards that time.
And the Packer first down.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. 58.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. He hauls it in. Valdes-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdes-Scantling there to make the grab as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. Let's see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe
Super toe.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. 30, past the 20. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A huge play there for Chicago. 62 yards.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 9-yard touchdown run as the Bears push further out in front. And there the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
But what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense. Get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, he'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Aaron Lynch, the former USF Bull. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it over.
And that is intercepted by the All-Pro safety, Eddie Jackson. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. If you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Tramon Williams there to break that one up. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He's going to air one out. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 46 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it out past the 35.
At their own 37-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 40-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw, it's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Rodgers now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. So we have hit halftime of the 2019 opener from Chicago. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps away. Pushing through tacklers at the 30. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
26.
On play action. Now Rodgers. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And that's complete to Lewis. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
1st down, Packers.
Blue 58. Check 59. Oh, here we go. Oh.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes. They're trying to put him on the ground.
Rodgers on target to Valdez-Scantling. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now it's Rodgers. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. On the crossing route, complete. It's Adams. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 19.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Check safety, check safety.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down. On play action, Rodgers. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd and 12, Trubisky got him in. It's Brown. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
That's the way. 18.
3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Jones. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And now here's another interception. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And the Bears, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Watch the edge.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. It's Cohen trying to run inside, but nothing there. Blake Martinez, the NFC's leading tackler a year ago, in on the stop. Looking to throw on second down. Trubisky. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Looking deep for Adams. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
And a Packer first down.
Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career. And he's going to need another one right now. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Now Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not late.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Khalil Mack able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Let's go, let's go.
At their own 27-yard line.
Come on.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend as the Bears push further out in front. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 23 yards the pickup there. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the 45 on 2nd down. Rodgers caught by Jones. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Back to throw. Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Rodgers to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Get 300, get 300.
To throw is Rodgers. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Extra point try now for Crosby. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That one, 28 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. Well, a little drop.